Mm-hmm. We're doing this with a fussy baby tonight, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Wait, we're on now?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey
guys, happy Friday. Thanks for joining us.
We are live. We'll give it a few minutes and make sure that everybody can get on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are here, please let me know if you can hear us okay. Just shoot us a comment.
Let me know if the padding is too loud, because he's pretty much just enjoys being beat into submission.
It's his witching hour. It's the easiest time of night to do it right now because Freya's because Freya's in bed right now. So thank you. Yeah, I had it as a light pink, and then I got it as like a temporary, like a semi-permanent hair dye, and I was like, oh, I love this color. I'm going to dye it again with the permanent color. So I got the exact same color in a permanent color, and I left it on for 40 minutes, and it came out really bright.
The permanent color is much more hardcore than the temporary color.
Yeah. It's funny because the color is called flamingo, and when I dyed it, it was more like kind of like a cotton candy pink, and I was like, oh, I love this. And then I put on the permanent one, and it looks like I'm wearing a flamingo on my head. But that's okay. I'm fine with that. So yes, it is Gunner's fussiest time of the day right now.
Yep.
But Freya is in bed for the night, so we only have to worry about one kid. So hopefully the audio is okay. Hopefully the beating of the baby is not too annoying.
The nice thing about having the baby here is that you can't see all the drool and spit up on my shoulder right now.
Yes. You're going to see me looking around at a bunch of different places because we have a camera up here, the laptop here, an iPad here working as like a monitor to see what you guys can see so that I know I'm showing the right things. Hi, Kevin. So this is our first time doing a live. So bear with us if it's a little janky. We're trying. We don't have a formal format for this either because if you've watched our YouTube videos, you know we're typically pretty candid on camera. Like we don't pre-plan a lot of stuff. So all we've discussed beforehand is that we want to set our financial goals together.
The pre-planning for this video was that we're doing a live about financial goals. And then Val had to like do some back-end techie stuff to make sure that we had some grasp of a situation that might work so you guys could watch.
Yeah, so we're going to go through and we're going to set our financial goals for 2022 together, and then we will dive into YNAB because I like setting up a whole new budget in YNAB every year as well.
She really does.
So we'll figure out after we've set our goals how that translates into YNAB and how we'll set that up. And then towards the end, we will do like our personal goal setting and stuff as well. We wanted to do the financial aspect first because we know most of our audience right now comes from our Budget With Us videos and YNAB videos and stuff like that. So we kind of want to stay within that theme so that those of you who are watching who showed up for the financial stuff, you can see that first. What else did I want to say before we dove into this? Oh yeah, if you guys have questions as we're going along, like feel free to ask them. We're going to treat this like a hangout / Q&A. It's nothing formal.
Yeah.
It's just kind of something fun that we wanted to do.
Yeah, we'd like to be respectful of your guys' time and, get through the meat and potatoes of it without taking 47 hours, which if you're familiar with our YouTube videos, it may be 47 hours.
Yes. Okay, so I have some windows open here. I'm going to hopefully the screen recording picks this up. We'll just flip over here. Okay, perfect. So we're going to do our 2022 goal setting. I was going to do this in notes, but notes shows like literally everything. And it just kind of like looked a little overwhelming. So I was like, I'm just going to do this in pages and then we can, figure it out from there.
And the template we're using is from a goal setting workbook that Val put together.
Yes, yeah, we'll use that more towards the end for our personal goal setting. The financial side is sort of different, but on the second half, we're going to go through how we work through this worksheet that I've put together. It's a whole PDF booklet, and if you want a copy for your 2022 goal setting, it's linked down below. It is free, so you can just download it through the description below. All right, so, babe, what are our goals for 2022?
Get rich.
Get rich.
Definitely want to be done with the OPD.
Okay, so we want to pay off our OPD. Ideally, I wish we could have the car paid off, but with the way income is right now, as you guys may or may not know, Cody got laid off back in August. So we've had no active income. We've had other income streams and like random bits here and there, but...
Yes, we've had money coming in fits and starts, but no full-time industrial tradesman income.
So I'm going to check YNAB real quick here. Because YNAB should tell me, I think, when we would have it paid off by. Payoff date would be May of next year. So even if we only make our minimum payment, we should have the OPD paid off by May. Ideally, we'll have it paid off before then, but we'll just say pay off OPD by May of 2022, because that is our goal.
Yeah, he's a very, very cranky old man right now.
Yes, he's being,
frowning at me.
he's what we call our grumpalapagus. Cody also calls him our ham, because
Yeah.
he's so salty all the time.
Yeah. And sometimes I also call him Grandpa because he's so salty all the time, but with a frown on his face.
Yes. Okay, so pay off the OPD by May of 2022. I would like to rebuild our emergency fund.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
And I think, what do we want our emergency fund to be? For sure, we need the basic, the 1K. But then we also want, do we want to do like $5,000 or do we want to say 1 month of living expenses? We need to like clarify.
I think 2 months of living expenses is a good buffer.
Hi, Valerie. Hi, Emmy from Australia. It's so cool that somebody from Australia is here because you guys are on a whole different time than we are. What time is it in Australia right now?
Yeah, I feel like it's
It's got to be like 6 in the morning or something, right?
yeah, obnoxious o'clock.
Thank you for being here.
Because it'd be Saturday for you guys, right? So, oh, holy smokes. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for coming.
Living in the future over there. It's still Friday
Yeah.
here. Okay, so rebuild our emergency fund and then build up 3 months of living expenses. I don't know. It's hard for us to figure out what's realistic for goals right now because until we have like a consistent active income, we don't really know what
Until
we're working
we have
with.
some idea of what the money's doing, I mean, paying our bills might be an unrealistic goal, and hitting $100,000 in savings might be a realistic goal. Who knows?
I'll say build up. Maybe because we use YNAB, we'll say get 3 months ahead.
Okay.
This is typically how our goal setting goes. Like Cody or I will suggest something, and then the other one's just like, cool, sounds good. Okay.
Yeah.
2 p.m. on a Saturday. Wow.
Wow.
Way ahead of us. That's crazy. I think I can show these across the screen. Hey, I can. Cool. See, guys, that's nuts. I can't believe it's 2 p.m. on a Saturday over there. It is 8 p.m. on a Friday night over here. So
Yeah.
like crazy different time zones.
808. What computer error is that?
I don't know. Okay, so we want to pay off our OPD. That's the one I'm most excited for because our minimum
Yeah.
payment on that is $700 a month. It's a lot of money. Rebuild the basic emergency fund of $1,000 and get 3 months ahead of YNAB.
Yeah,
Those are
the
good places
OPD
to start.
payment is less than what all of the included debt payments were, and the interest on it is way less than all of the debt payments were.
Yeah.
But when we initially accumulated those debts, we were making, for us, a boatload of money, and it was easily affordable. And then my income got cut in half, and got cut in half again, and I think one more time. And,
And then got laid off.
Yeah, now my income is basically zero.
Look at him, he's just smiling at you.
Hi, smiley boy.
Being a fuss bud. For those of you who don't know, this is Gunner. He is, how old is he now? 9 weeks, I think.
8 weeks.
8 weeks?
8.5 weeks.
Hi, Baba. He's so handsome. Yeah, he's 8 weeks old now.
Did you know that you are the handsomest little boy that your mama has ever seen?
Yeah, he's so happy.
Yeah.
He's such a happy baby. Are you a happy boy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
you are.
unusually happy for this time of night. Usually it's like psycho o'clock from 7 till midnight.
Which is great. I think another goal for us next year should be trying to create some kind of consistent income.
Yeah, even if it's not fully enough to live on, just like some form of stability.
Yeah, at this point, I don't even care if it has to come from like 20 different revenue streams. I would just like to have like somewhat of a consistent income.
Yeah.
Again, if you guys have watched our videos for a while, you know that with Cody's work, typically income is really high for
It's
several
feast or
months
famine.
and then really low. So now that we're trying to build our own business and create different revenue streams, we're hoping to have like more consistent income coming in. It'll still be, you know, like this, but it'll be more consistent. At least. He is adorable, isn't he? Thank you. So create a consistent income. I'm not going to put like a limit as to like what that needs to be right now. I honestly would be happy with anything predictable.
Some form of stability.
Yeah, some form of stability. Also, our lease is up in August of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously with 2 young kids, it would be easier to stay where we are right now, but it would also make more sense to move somewhere cheaper.
Yeah, and as much better as this apartment was than the last one we were in, particularly as far as neighbors go, it's not great for raising a family, or like, I don't know, I feel like this 2-bedroom apartment would be like a nice setup for a single individual who needed an office or a spare room. Like,
of course, I spelled that wrong. So I'll say find cheaper accommodations. I think we can find cheaper. I don't know how many of you have been on this channel for this long, but Cody and I used to live in a 5th-wheel trailer, a very old trailer.
Oh man, it was
an RV.
It was such a fun adventure. We would never do that again in terms of like the age and
size.
Ghetto-ness and size of the
We'd
trailer.
have a nicer trailer now.
Yeah, we would definitely have another one, but we are both so excited to, hopefully sooner than later, get a truck and trailer and go back to that.
Yeah, my dream would be to like pay off all of our debt and move back into a trailer before next August. Yeah. But I need to be realistic with our goals.
Living like we're camping.
I don't think that's going to happen in the next 8 months. So paying off the OPD, rebuild our emergency fund, get 3 months ahead, create a consistent income, find cheaper accommodations. So aside from...
Hi, everybody.
Aside from doing like our big financial goals, we would also start thinking about our sinking funds for the next year. So Christmas is a big one that we want to do every year. And it seems like every year we always wind up having to take it out because Cody's feast or famine lifestyle is his work. So what do we want to do for sinking funds for Christmas? What do we want to have saved up by next Christmas? We typically don't do a lot of gifts, but we like to eat and we like to decorate and we like to go for experiences like Candy Cane Lane and seeing the light shows, and especially now that we've got kids.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, 2,500?
2,500? Good Lord.
Well, we got kids, so we got to do gifts.
How about like 800?
That's smaller than the goal was when it was just us.
Okay, 1,200?
Okay.
2,500 is a lot. Let me know in the comments, you guys, how much do you save for Christmas every year? How much do you do? 2,500 is a lot of money for Christmas. We just got winter tires, but we will need summer tires. It's just all smiles with Cody right now. Cody's going to be very distracted for this live. I apologize.
Yeah, it's basically goal setting with Valerie, guest starring Gunner and Cody.
Yeah, Cody and Gunner. So summer tires for the car. I'm going to guess, like $800 probably, hey? I think.
Yeah. Or, I mean, we can just burn out the winter tires all summer and replace them in the winter.
Yeah, winter tires are expensive, though.
Well, I mean, $800 ain't cheap either.
We can plan for it.
Yeah, whatever.
Our annual subscriptions are already in our budgets. That would be YNAB and Amazon Prime, and I can't remember off the top of my head, but we will go into YNAB after this, I promise. I'm trying to flesh out. We're trying to gain a little clarity about like what we want to do. We should look at what our goals were for this year, because we wound up not hitting hardly any of them, I think.
Well, at the beginning of the year, I had
steady income,
almost guaranteed employment. It was supposed to be like a full-time permanent position, and then she gone.
That seems to be the way of it. Okay, so our goals for this year were to pay off the OPD. Did not happen, but we are under $4,000. We only have $3,700 left owing. Find cheaper living accommodations. We didn't do that either.
Yeah, not only did we not do that, we went there, we took that goal and we ran in the other direction.
Yeah, we wound up going more expensive. The save 10% consistently with a goal of 15% by year end. Hi, Minnie. We did pretty good with that. We were doing that pretty consistently right up until Cody got laid off in August. So I think, you know what? From Toronto. Hello from Toronto. We should make that a goal again. Save 10% consistently.
Yeah.
With a goal of 15% by the end of the year. That's the whole pay yourself first idea, that we take 10%, 15%, and just pay ourselves into savings. Grow a side hustle to $500 a month. Almost. I mean, we have...
This looks blowy outy, doesn't it?
Sure does.
All right, well, apparently I've got poop on me, so I'm going to ghost for a hot minute.
This is the real life. This is what we just had a blowout. He's 8 weeks old. Okay, let's cut him a break.
Have a kid, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
Yeah. Okay, you guys are stuck with me for a hot minute. We'll make sure that I'm in focus here. Cody's just in the bedroom right here with Gunnar, so he can still hear me. So grow a side hustle to $500 is a goal that we had this year. And we came really close to that. We might still hit it by the end of the year. We have a few different revenue streams between Etsy and YouTube and our coaching business and doing the YNAB coaching. And what else is there? I feel like there's other ones too, but there's just like a bunch of like little trickles of income that are coming in. And so if we were to count the miscellaneous income from selling things throughout the year, for sure we're hitting the $500 a month, but you can only sell so many things. So I don't think it's fair to include that. But we were close to hitting that goal. So some of you probably know already. I feel like we have two different audiences on Facebook versus Instagram, but Cody got laid off on August 6th. So he's been unemployed since August. EI, this is why I live child-free. Yes, don't get me wrong, we love both our children, but we often reminisce about how nice it was when we didn't have kids. There was so much more freedom, so much more time, so much less laundry. I could vacuum in the middle of the day and my place would stay clean. Mom brain, where's my train of thought going here? Oh yeah, so Cody's been out of work since August, and EI, which is employment insurance here in Canada, his EI ran out right before Gunnar was born. And so when we reapplied for EI, we just applied for the parental leave. So in Canada, we get maternity leave or parental leave. So I have not worked for 4 years now, so I wouldn't get maternity leave. But Cody, because he has been working, he gets parental leave. So our government will actually pay him a benefit every month to stay home for, I think it's up to 8 months or 7 months or something like that. It's quite a long time to pay him money to stay home and raise his kids, which is cool that we get that option here in Canada. It's certainly not like a living wage for most people. It definitely is not for us. It covers less than half of our expenses. But that's okay. We're grateful for it, but they are still processing the application. So we have had no income since the end of August or the beginning of September, I think was the last payment that we got for his employment insurance when he was working. So no income for the rest of September or for October or for all of November. So we've been selling things or cashing out any savings that we had. Not stuff that we want to be doing, but we got to pay our bills somehow. So anyways, this is a long roundabout way to say that we took the plunge. We got our life coaching certifications. We started our own business. We're working with different coaches ourselves to try and increase our level of education and skills as quickly as possible. Because obviously we want to be able to build our business as quickly as possible. So it was funny, I was actually looking back at YouTube comments for videos from a while ago. If I'm going to be chatting your guys' heads off, I should probably just put myself on camera instead of you having to look at notes. But I was looking back at old YouTube videos and comments, and one of our Q&As, I was talking about how like my dream job would be to be a life coach. And I remember at that point in time, it was kind of like a pipe dream to me where I was like, oh, that would be nice. Like, I would love to be a life coach. I would love to like positively impact the people around me. And it seemed like this far-fetched kind of idea. And now here I am, a year and a half later. Yeah, about a year and a half later, I think it is. And I actually have my life coaching certification, and I am a certified life coach, and Cody's doing it with me, which is so exciting. And we're having a lot of fun with it. It's certainly a learning curve, starting a new business and doing it with your spouse as well. It's an adventure. And maybe not for everybody, but Cody and I have been having a lot of fun with it. We really enjoy it. So one of our other goals for 2021 was for Cody to find steady work. We thought he had found steady work. We've just resigned ourselves to the fact that there's no such thing in his career choice, which is, again, another reason why we decided to start our own business. We just want to have better control over our time and our money. And then we had a goal of growing our investments to 8,000 with a stretch goal of 10,000. And you know what? Had he stayed steadily employed, I think we would have hit that. I think we would have even hit our stretch goal. But again, we had to cash out all of our savings and all of our investments in order to keep us afloat for the last few months, which again, I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Our bills are paid. We're not taking on any extra debt, so I'm not going to complain about it. Okay, so we're going to go back in here. You doing okay in there, babe? Yeah.
You want to poke your head in and see what I've cleaned up?
No, I'm good. Was it a big poop? Yeah, so Sorry.
I mean, like, we're definitely throwing that brand new onesie away and getting a new one.
No, we can just soak it in cold water.
We almost had to throw our baby away and get a new one.
Just throw our baby away and get a new one. Oh, the joys of children and bloats. Okay. I haven't added anything to our goal list yet. Do you have anything that you want to add?
For personal financial goals, I'm gonna start socking away a little bit of money to start a tattoo fund.
Okay, so Cody wants to save. Don't talk and type at the same time. To save money for a tattoo. So do you want to put that as part of our budget together, or do you want that to be like you manage it out of your own spending money?
I'll fund it out of my spending money, but I want to put it in YNAB so I stay consistent with it.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys can hear Cody. He's, like I said, stuck in the bedroom changing a baby who's had a blowout, but he says that he will save for his tattoo out of his spending money, but he wants to keep it reflected in YNAB so that he can hold himself accountable. So as you guys probably know, when it comes to YNAB, I'm the one who uses it. Cody doesn't have an app on his phone. He just sits down every time we get money coming in and we do the budget together in YNAB on the computer. But in terms of like the day-to-day stuff, I manage YNAB on the app or through the computer. I'm going to flip back here again so that you guys aren't just staring at a notes screen. I supplement my income with my online business and plans to start back college in 2022 for an accounting diploma degree. Minnie, that's awesome. I am always up for furthering education, whether that's formal. Yeah, congratulations. Whether that's formal post-secondary training or, you know, going back and taking upgrades, doing online stuff, whatever it is. Wow, that's a lot of poop. That sucks.
Yeah. Like from shoulders to ankles and hip to hip.
Yeah, okay. Well, apparently our baby just needs to be washed down with fire hose. But that's awesome. I am all for furthering education. And I hope your online business explodes for you. I hope that it takes off and grows as big as you want it to. Because the more control you have over your own time and money, I think the better it is. It's a form of freedom we should all have access to and have been, you know, educated on, but we're not educated on it in schools, or at least not in Canada, and I don't think in America either. So anyways, so I do the YNAB stuff every day. So this is again why I wanted to share this, because I totally would have been fine with just doing Cody's tattoo fund out of like our regular money outside of his spending money. But
let's do that then.
If you want to take it out of your spending. The thing is if we take it out of our budget, it'll be a lot slower probably versus if you were to just, because we each get 5% each out of everything we make for spending money. Mm-hmm. So we could take it out of that, or we could just say, you know, like another 3% or 2% of our income goes towards your tattoo.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
For now, we'll just do it out of my spending money.
Okay. I can switch back to that.
Bright-eyed little dude.
Yeah, just wide awake over here. Okay, so save money for a tattoo. I'm just going to write down here on the pay yourself first. You going to be okay? You good?
Just struggling to live life over here.
Did you forget how to breathe, or? Babies. Okay, so pay yourself first. This is just our, like, taking our top financial goals, and it goes right at the top of YNAB in our budget, and this is what we allocate our money to. So 10% to savings. So this will be either for the emergency fund, 3 months ahead, or general savings, whatever it is.
So I think the way we'll do that, because this year, like in our last budget, we also had a goal towards investing, but that was a lot out of our budget. So I think what we might do is keep this 10% savings, and then once we get the emergency funds locked away, we'll take that 10% and then jam it into investing.
Investments, and then we've got 10% to savings, 10% for spending, so 5% each. And then what else? Our sinking funds would be their own thing.
Mm-hmm. That would be their own thing.
And then I guess maybe, do we want to do 5% or 10% for debt snowball?
Yeah, 5%, I think. And then that's 25% of our income accounted for before we've even started paying bills.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude, your tummy should feel so good right now. Stop yelling. Oh, stop yelling at me, Bubba.
Stop yelling at us.
Why are you yelling at me all the time? Can you spit up? No, that's just cool.
If he gets to be too loud to where you guys can't hear us, let me know.
Mm-hmm.
And
we'll adjust the camera angles, and maybe someone will have to eat.
Cody will go for a walk.
Yeah, basically, you'll see me passing by in the background because when he gets fussy, I just pat him on the back and bust like 9,000 laps around the kitchen island.
Okay, so now we get to go to the fun part. We are going to go to...
I know. You don't hang out over there?
Yeah, we'll do a fresh start. So we're going to go 2022 budget.
You don't normally hang out over this shoulder.
And what this does in YNAB is it'll create a brand new budget and a fresh start, but it'll keep all of my categories and everything. And then I'm just going to go back here real quick because I don't want to actually archive this. Oops. So I'm just going to retake the name out. Retake the name. Jeez. I'm having a blonde moment here. Can I not rename it from there?
I will get your passes. You wait right there. I'll be there. Okay, here's one. We'll try this one.
Kevin says, I made my own business. What kind of business did you start, Kevin? That's awesome. I love hearing people who start their own businesses. I think that's amazing. Am I having a blonde moment here? Oh, there we go. I'm having a blonde moment. I'm just going to put 2021 budget. Cody's trying to settle Gunner down over here. I hear you, bud.
My poor fussy bean.
Okay, so we're going to make sure that this reflects our goals. So our debt snowball.
You probably need that.
No, I don't. Debt snowball, we said was going to be 5%. And that typically gets a red circle because debt is bad. Wah, wah. So when we get paid, sorry, we're very tired parents, so we're kind of all over the place a little bit.
We weren't exactly like...
Oh, I disappeared off the screen. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to do that. So when we get paid, this is what we would allocate our goals towards. Is 10% for savings, 5% for me, 5% for Cody, 5% for the debt snowball. All of this will probably stay the same for now. I'm just going to go down here. And we'll just go into sinking funds. And Christmas would not be a short-term sinking fund. That would be a long-term sinking fund. Gifts, clothing, medical, dental, vehicle maintenance, that'll all stay the same. So Christmas, create a Christmas target. We said $1,200, right? Is that what our goal was? $1,200 needed for spending by, I like to do my Christmas shopping way before December, but we'll put it in there. I am so sorry for the crying baby. Cody's on it. Just hold him. Just pick him up. Cody's getting the bottle ready. Let this be birth control for all of you who don't have kids yet and don't want kids. They're a joy, but they're a lot of work. Kevin says, make handmade stuff like jewelry and more. That's cool.
That's awesome.
I love that. How long have you been doing that for, Kevin? My brother and his fiance are trying to do something like that too, where they do like crystals. Like they take different crystals and gems and rocks and stuff. Well, not rocks, but like crystals and gems, and they like hand wire it and tie it into a necklace. And they're pretty cool. I like them. Okay, so Christmas, we would have to save $85 a month starting November. We're not going to start in November, though. We would start in January, but I'm just setting this up for next year. Amazon Prime. I don't know why some of these targets didn't carry over. I think we pay about $90 a year for Amazon Prime. I know that's due in August. I don't remember when in August, so I'll just say August 1st. Repeat every year. Save target. YNAB is about 120 Canadian.
Dude.
Need it for spending. I think it's sometime in January. This would be January 2023. And repeat every year.
You'll be in a bunch.
I think what most people do is they probably just stick with the same budget in YNAB year after year.
I would think so, yeah.
Do you want me to hold him?
I don't know. I'm not sure what his problem is.
He's stressing Cody out over here. Our life insurance. Oh, I don't remember how much our life insurance is. Not gonna lie, I think it's like $650 a year. And that is going to be due March of the year after that. Well, I guess, no, this would be 2022. Is it March? No, I think it's May. Say the end of April. These may have to be adjusted throughout the year. But yeah, I think most people probably use YNAB, like the same YNAB budget, like year after year after year. For some reason in my brain, I'm like, I just want to keep the years separated. So I always create a new one every single year. We're not going to put goals on for there. Like we have goals, but they're not going to have a deadline. What else did we have in here? Rebuilding our emergency fund. Oh, what happened to my pages? Pages disappeared on me. Did I close the pages app? There we go. Rebuild our emergency fund, get 3 months ahead of YNAB, create a consistent income, find cheaper accommodations. Oh, summer tires. That's the one that I'm missing. Okay. We'll add in summer tires. That'll probably be, well, I'll put it in as long term. I'll just say new tires. New tires for the car. When do we want to put new tires on? Like April?
Yeah, like
Or May?
April.
May long, sometimes we still have snow here in Alberta.
Yeah, that's true. We have
Bead bracelets and other bracelets. I love that. That's awesome. And it's a creative outlet too. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments here. Kevin says that he's got his own business doing jewelry and he does beading and bracelets. And I think that's amazing. Okay, $800 we'll say by the end of May. Because like I said, we get snow here even in May. I have seen snow on Canada Day here. Once. And I was quite a bit younger.
We were camping once in July. And I woke up with the tent touching me because there was that much snow on top of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not typical weather here in Canada, but we've definitely had snow in July.
It happens.
It's not my favorite thing. Okay, so I think we have all of our annual goals. Personal development, we will always have a budget for that, but that's not going to be so high. We'll say maybe $300 a month. Preview by November. This would be next year, not this year. November 2022. Sure. Okay. I think that about covers it. All your subscriptions stay the same. And we could pop in here. How have you guys been liking the new loan repayment feature in here? Oh, these balances are
Jacked up.
You know what, I guess I would have to change the balances after. Because they're going to be different come 2022. So I'll have to update them. We'll flip back here. Yeah, $3,500 left on the OPD. We're doing good. So 10%, let's say we could put an extra $500. Or no, we said 5%, didn't we? Even $200, we'll say. If we did, no, that's not what I wanted. It would be every month. So if we did $900 a month instead of $700, it would save us 2 months. So we'd pay it off March instead of April. May? It was May, wasn't it? Yeah, May. And drawings. Kevin, you're a very creative man. Hey, that's awesome. I admire people who are artists that can make money through their art. I feel like that's a really difficult thing to do for a lot of people. And a lot of people give up, right? Because it's so difficult to do it. A lot of people just kind of give up on their dream. And I always wonder how many artists are out there that don't put their art out into the world because they can't succeed at monetizing it, and they don't make money doing it. I mean, obviously they still, I'm sure, do it for the love of it, but the rest of the world doesn't necessarily get to see it, and that's too bad. All right, so if we can make the debt snowball payments, we will have this paid off by March. We also get our tax return in March, which is typically several $1,000s.
Yeah, so it's going to be paid off by March anyway.
So no matter what, we should be done with it in March, hopefully. It depends, I guess, on where we are, because our tax return might just wind up going towards bills. So I think that's about it for the financial side of things. I feel like our financial goal setting is typically pretty simple. I'll go back into pages here. Cody, is there anything else that you want to add? Oh, I have to add in his tattoo. It's a bad wifey, bad wifey. Here he's telling me that he wants to get a tattoo and I didn't even put it into the budget. That would be a long-term goal. New tattoo for Cody. And I think I'm not going to put a target date because I don't know when he wants it. But tattoos are typically pretty expensive, so I'll say $2,500 is like our first goal, a rough goal for it. And then he can just shuffle money around from his spending money down into that every month. And I'm not going to worry about this right now because, again, we won't be touching that budget until next year. I just kind of want to get the sinking fund set up and the structure of it set up, and we might still wind up adjusting things at the end of the year. And knitting. Geez, you do a bit of everything. Drawing, beads, bracelets, beaded bracelets, other bracelets, and knitting stuff as well. I suck at knitting. I used to crochet, but I could crochet a blanket, and that was about it. I can't crochet anything else. Pat says, we were camping in Drumheller one year and had to rush into Calgary to get a fleece sweater for me on my birthday, August 2nd, because it was snowing. That's crazy.
Wow.
In August. It's usually the hottest month in Alberta, I feel like. It's typically usually August. Sometimes July, but usually August. I would have been so peeved having to put on a sweater. Just goes to show you never really know what the weather's going to be like here.
Yeah. If you don't like the weather in Alberta, wait a minute, it'll snow.
Yeah, wait a minute, it'll snow. Alberia, they call us Alberia for a reason.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, any other financial goals that we want to set?
What do we got listed so far?
I put in your tattoo fund.
Okay.
We've got 10% for savings, 10% for spending, 5% for the debt snowball. I added in the Christmas and the summer tire sinking funds, your tattoo sinking funds in there. Paying off the OPD by May, which I think, again, we can do by March.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really think of anything else. My biggest things for 2022 is like to get our business bringing in consistent, predictable income.
It'd be nice to, like this coming year, if we could get to a place where we felt comfortable aggressively saving for the kids' futures, whether that's whether that's something to
agree.
Put them to school, go for a wedding, help them with a house or something.
I don't know if that's something we'll be able to do next year. I feel like we should
to get started on it.
Yeah, I feel like we should definitely be getting out of debt and getting like our emergency fund.
Getting ourselves good first?
Yeah, getting ourselves good first, because
That's
until
fair.
we're good, we can't take care of the kids effectively,
I was definitely Pat.
All right, so I think that's it. Do you guys have questions about our financial goal setting or how we do things in YNAB? I know we kind of blow through it. We're going to move on to our personal goals here.
We're both very easy peasy. Fly by the seat of your pants.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sorry, every time somebody says easy peasy, it's like my brain has to say easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Yeah.
I can't help it.
Oh, another good thing to add for finances would be something. We got personal development, something for health and fitness.
We what?
To add something for health and fitness.
In the
As a single fund.
Yeah, that's right. Sorry, my mom brain has got me so tired here. Okay. So, YNAB is not an app. I wish YNAB had a computer app, like a desktop app. Like I know it's a web app, but you know how we have phone apps? I wish we had a YNAB computer app. Does anybody else wish we had that? Is that just me? I don't know that it would really make any big difference, but in my brain, I'm like, I would love to just have a YNAB app.
Yeah, it'd be nice to just have a thing on the desktop that just like bam, and there's my budget.
Just clicking over there. Do we want to put the fitness fund under living expenses or fun money?
I think living expenses, because that realistically it should be something that we take seriously.
Health and fitness. For me, I'm more than happy just doing my workouts and stuff at home.
Well, yeah, but still, like the Apple subscription, or if we need shoes.
That's part of our subscription. Shoes would come out of clothing. But if you want to hire a trainer or get a gym membership, that would come out of here. So how much do you want to allocate to that every month?
By the end of the year, I'd like to be putting $100 away.
By the end of next year or by the end of this year?
Next year.
Okay, so $100 a month by the end of the month, every month. Cool. Because we do want to start taking our health and fitness more seriously. Heather, you wish there was a YNAB app too? I'm glad I'm not the only one. I think a YNAB app would be awesome.
Because, like, guys, Freya's already grown into a beautiful little girl. I gotta make sure I can fight some boyfriends when I'm old.
Okay, we are going to go into personal goal setting now, I think. We can always come back to the financial, though, if you guys have questions. Okay, so this is the PDF worksheet that I've created. You can get a copy of this for free. It's linked in the description down below. I do not have a printer here, unfortunately, so I couldn't print this off.
At one point, we had $2,500 worth of printers.
Yeah, I bought so many printers and I was disappointed with every single one, so we returned all of them.
Yeah, there was 1 week there where we had $2,500 almost worth of printers because we bought one and it sucked, so we exchanged it. And it sucked, so we exchanged it. So it sucked, so we exchanged it. And
well, this only shows you guys one thing at a time, hey? Okay, well, can I make this bigger? I can make this bigger. I know, poor Gunner. He's just being a grump over here.
he's not eating, and then he screamed at me when I stopped feeding him.
Do you want me to hold him for a bit?
If you want. You're being a jerk. Yeah.
You're welcome, Heather. She says thank you for answering a question that she had. She reached out to me on Instagram about something in YNAB there. Guys, I'm such a nerd for YNAB. Honest to goodness. I know that our Instagram right now is filled with like the personal development stuff and the life coaching and all of that. But I have not forgotten about YNAB. If you have YNAB questions, like hit me up. I am more than happy to answer them.
Super ADHD for YNAB. Like as soon as your question came in, Heather, she just like vanished in a puff of Valerie-shaped smoke. And she was like, I gotta look this up and I gotta get answers. And it's like, babe.
Literally, I just like, I left him high and dry. I was like, hold on, I want to figure this out and make sure that I've got it right before I like respond to this person. And I was like, and I'm gonna do a video on it. I don't know, it's like my favorite thing to do. I can't even help it. Oh, that's awesome. Heather, I hope you can join next year. We have lots of stuff that we're planning for next year. We're very, very excited about it. I don't know if you follow us on Instagram or not. Well, I guess so if you've seen it. I think we're going to engage with the Instagram community a little more and figure out what everybody's needing in the new year so that as we're designing things, we can hit kind of everybody at different spending levels, because everybody's got a different budget level. That's what I'm going for, so that we can hit everybody in different budgets and make sure that we're being accessible to the right people at the right time. Yeah, meet people where they're at, and make sure that whatever we're coming up with in terms of different courses, programs, tools, that kind of thing, that it's stuff that people need and that they're going to use. So Kevin says, I follow you on Instagram, my business page. Cool. Kevin, I will, if we're not following you back, I will go follow you back. I'm typically the one on Instagram. Cody posts videos too, but I'm usually the one engaging with people and like scheduling everything out.
I'm terrible at social media. I usually wind up looking at like D&D memes, and then it's like 2 hours later and I have to go do parent things.
Yes. Okay, so going back to the goal setting planner, as I said, this is, Cody and I sat down one night and we kind of went through and we did this together, and it is available for free as a download in the description. And we're just gonna kind of talk through it, I think, at this point. Cody and I will go more in depth on our own and probably do our goal setting, but again, we still wanted to share this because there's a lot of stuff that we do as a couple. And we want to be able to support each other in our goals as couples. You know, like right now, Cody's trying to get back into working out regularly, and that's a little difficult with 2 kids under 2. And I try my best to support him, and so we make room in our schedule for that, and we make sure we prioritize that because what's important to him is also important to
Is
me.
one of the benefits of owning your own business is that I can take time to do that in the middle of the day when the kids are sleeping and things are quiet. It's not, you know, you're on the clock from 9 to 5, be here and work hard.
Yeah. All right, so I think we'll just maybe tackle one goal each right now.
Okay.
And we'll talk a bit about, I'm going to try and not get too much into the talking your ears off about how to set goals and just kind of go through this as like how we set our goals. So I know for me, 2 big things on my mind for next year are going to be continuing my education and growing my skill set in the realm of life coaching, specifically down the business avenue of things and marketing and scaling businesses, growing businesses, doing startups, creating cash flow. What kind of camera are we using, Minnie asks. We are using a Canon M50 Mark II, just with the kit lens. We just have a kit lens on. I have a nice 50 mil lens that I really like, but we would have to have this thing like 10 feet away from us in order for it to actually get us in frame.
Like, knock out the wall and put it in the bathroom.
Yeah, it would not be it would not be useful in this situation.
Buddy.
Sorry, I've got a serious mom brain here. So yeah, my big goals are going to be continuing my education. I am huge into personal development. It's something that I've put off for the last year or so here as I was having and raising these 2 kids and adjusting to all of that. And Cody was working full-time at the time. Now that we are both home full-time, we have time to pursue these things. So personal development is going to be huge for me.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Do a sit.
And then my health and fitness. So for me, my big things are going to be getting back into shape. And again, as you'll see on this worksheet, we've listed out like SMART goals. So it's not enough to just say like, oh, I want to lose weight or, oh, I want to get in shape. Like, what does that mean specifically? So I wish I could like show pages and this thing at the other side, but I guess it's fine. So for me, we're going to focus on, what do I want to focus on for this live?
I don't know, what do you want to focus on for this live?
Kevin is also in Canada from Ontario. Hello from
Nice.
Ontario. We're stuck in Alberta. Alberta's not that bad. Alberta gets a lot of heck, but we're not that bad over here. I feel like not everybody's a redneck.
What you talking about over there? Sophisticated with your fancy book learning.
Do you guys care which goal I walk through for this live? Like, do you want to see me specifically walk through how I do goal setting for my personal development or how I would set it for my health and fitness?
I feel like health and fitness is pretty straightforward. Like, people have a good idea of that just from all the
Yeah.
other content out there. Maybe figure out how to like walk through personal development, I think, would be a bit more of a beneficial
Okay.
thing.
You guys are going to see this seriously just like as it happens.
Off the cuff.
Because I have not given this any major thought beforehand. So my goal was to get my life coaching certification, which I did. And then I also got my certification in life purpose coaching, which is a little more niche. And Cody got his in entrepreneurship and business.
Well, I'm working on the entrepreneurship
Yeah,
and
he's
business.
like this close to getting his certification.
It's real hard to find the bandwidth to pay attention to everything when somebody is always yelling at me for everything.
And me. He yells at me a lot too.
Yeah.
So I've done that one. I've done goal setting. I've done a few different other one-off courses. So what do I want to focus on for the new year? Spirituality is a big thing for me. I've really been enjoying reading tarot and oracle cards. Pat says, I was born in Edmonton. Luckily got out when I was 5. I'm still stuck here. We got out for a little bit. We moved to Grand Prairie. We moved to a few small towns.
Yeah, I've lived in Spruce Grove. I've lived in Grassland. I've lived in Boyle. I've lived in Grand Prairie. And now we're...
Back in Edmonton.
Yeah.
A lot of my family's here, which is why we're here right now. But we are dying to get out. We would love to just have like a lot of land, not in any of the major cities. And preferably, I think, like southern Alberta, like in the foothills. Yeah. It's beautiful down there.
Ideally, where we can, like, you know, have some animals, have like a nice garden or like a greenhouse or something and grow a lot of our own food.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to say here, I want to learn to read tarot by the end of the year. And I want to learn how to, I'm hoping my typing's not too loud for you guys because we're also using the mics in the MacBook here. Learn how to not read.
We have so many mic options to use, but they are all just miserable compared to just the standard in the Mac.
How do I want to word this? How to improve my intuition, listen to my intuition more, develop my intuition.
Tune into, develop, yeah.
Further develop my intuition. I feel like I'm a pretty intuitive person for the most part, but I also...
You just have to use the Force, Luke.
May the Force be with you. Are we still in focus here? Sorry, I can't quite tell all the time. Oh, I've got my camera right over the thing here. Oh no, where'd it go?
It broke itself.
Well, what are we doing here? Oh, I threw it up on the iPad. That's why. It's over on the other screen. Sorry, bear with me.
Yeah, we're
I don't know
here.
why it's doing this. Stop that. Can you just come over here? Cool. Okay. Further develop my intuition. How do you quantify that though? Part of setting SMART goals is that they're measurable. Like, how would I know if I'm developing my intuition?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard one for me to identify. Oh, Heather says, I want to drag your document over. I'm sorry. I do have stuff up on the iPad so I can see what you guys see, but I'm not checking it often enough. So I'm like doing things. I'm like, oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Further develop my intuition. How do I quantify that? I don't know. I almost feel like, I think that's something that I'd have to look for.
Every month, at the beginning of the month, we'll do 50 coin flips.
No. I think for that one, I'm going to actually like look for a coach that I connect with, somebody that I like. I'm going to have to look for a coach. All I know is that I want to develop my intuition. This goes back to being able to read tarot and just being intuitive. I want to be more guided. Like Cody and I do our life coaching as a couple, and we love that. But I also want to do something that's just for women. And empowering women and helping them to build their businesses and stuff. But I also want to lean more into my intuition. And I don't really know how to say what that looks like yet. I know what it feels like to me, but I don't know how to quantify that. So I think my big step for next year is going to be, I'm going to have to find a good coach that I connect with, that I can work with, that'll help me to develop my intuition and help me figure out what that looks like in my business, in my own business, like how I want to build that in and create value for other people. What else under my personal development? What about you? What personal goals do you have for next year? Other than fitness, since that's a
I want to continue on the fitness journey, and I think for me what that's going to look like is just right now I reached out to a trainer that I connected with somehow on Instagram. I don't even know. He just started showing up at my feed one day and I liked his stuff. So I reached out to him and he wrote a 12-week program for me. So I think what that's going to look like for me is just like getting another program from him once this one's up and just continue with that. Honestly, my bandwidth and my attention span is just garbage lately, and part of it is just the lack of sleep that comes from having kids and so on and so forth. But I used to be a huge reader. I used to love reading. So I'm not sure how many books it would translate to, but I'm going to start reading for 15 to 30 minutes a day.
Monica says, do you set financial goals as well? We do. That's what we did at the first start of this live. You'll see that in the note here, the 2022 goal setting. And then we went into YNAB and...
Where did Monica say that?
Right up here.
Oh.
We put in our sinking funds and stuff into YNAB. We don't have our own personal financial goals because our finances are 100% together. Like, I don't have my bank account and his bank account. If we did, we would have probably our own separate financial goals.
Yeah. But my big financial goal for the coming year is to start the tattoo fund.
Yeah.
And we'll see, maybe that'll wind up turning into like, depending how we're doing for like free time and stuff, I may end up using that money on like a compound bow and some archery lessons and stuff like that, and
that would be
range
cool.
time.
I would love learn how to use a bow and arrow. Not my focus for next year, but one of these years I'm going to learn how to use bow and arrow. Heather says maybe the first goal is how to quantify. Yeah, for sure. I as I'm coming through with this, I'm like, I am totally lacking clarity around this goal, and I don't want to like be here forever and keep you guys here forever with this. Because as we work through this worksheet that we have put together, aside from SMART goals, we do dive into like, what is your why? Like, you need to know why you're setting these goals. Why is it important for you to achieve that goal, and what happens if you don't achieve that goal?
Well, rather than quantifying it in terms of like hard numbers, you could quantify it in terms of like X
Again, I didn't
number of
click on the
hours
thing.
into practicing or developing it, whatever that winds up looking like.
Yeah, in terms of like the time dedicated to it, I can quantify it that way, but what I want to figure out for myself is, how do I know if I'm making progress towards that?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I could study it 8 hours a day every day, but how will I know when I've reached my level of comfort to being able to say like, okay, I can confidently read tarot cards now, or I've developed my intuition to a point where I feel like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
for sure that's going to be, is maybe not the best example. What's another personal goal that I can share for this goal setting part? When I told you guys we didn't pre-plan any of this, I meant it. We did not pre-plan any of it.
Yeah, I literally just pulled that reading thing out of my hat like 5 seconds before I said it.
All right, you know what? I'm struggling with the intuition one, and some people really struggle to set their goals, so we're gonna do this right now, even though I'm struggling with it. So setting SMART goals specific. I want to develop my intuition. Okay, hold on. I want to develop my intuition.
It's behind the...
Sure is. Thank you, Cody. Now I see the financial goals. Yeah. I want to develop my intuition on a personal level and as a coach, so that I can better trust my gut and have better confidence in making decisions and planning, so that I can better serve my clients and in helping them to grow their businesses, see personal growth, overcome obstacles. Intuition for me is a big thing. I don't want to always be, not that I'm always second guessing myself, but if I'm being honest, sometimes I do. I think sometimes maybe I'm a little like, I really want to be transparent with you guys. I'm getting vulnerable here. I feel like sometimes I get a little wrapped up in the, like comparing myself with everybody else, or being more concerned with what everybody else is doing. And I wasn't always like that. There was a point in my life where I was very confident in myself. I was very intuitive. I trusted my gut. I trusted my feelings. I trusted my intuition. And I feel like over the years, I've kind of lost that. I've gotten wrapped up in social media and shiny things, shiny objects, and I don't know if I'm explaining this right. Let me know if you guys are relating to this or not. But I just feel like it's a part of me that I've lost, and I want to learn how to develop my intuition and learn to trust myself again on a much deeper level. And I don't know where to start on doing that myself effectively. And so the first step is going to be find a coach. So I need to find a coach that I can work with to help me develop my intuition. This is really messy, you guys, but I just want to share this, how this actually goes. Gunner is asleep. We have success. No more crying, baby.
He's never asleep at this time of day. Like, I'm not lying when I say he like starts losing his shit around the time Freya goes to bed and stays that way until like midnight.
So measurable. How will I know I'm making progress towards my goal? I mean,
it's kind of going to be a gut feeling thing.
Yeah, I was just going to say I'll know like as I go how I'm able to trust myself more.
If you're developing your intuition will tell you more and more strongly if you're developing your intuition.
So that's, again, something that can be done with a coach. Is it attainable? Is it within my realm of possibility? 100%. Relevant. Is this goal something that aligns with your values and life mission? Is it a goal that makes sense for you to pursue? So for me, yes, because again, being a life coach and being involved in other people's lives, I have a lot of skills and knowledge and tools available to me. And I think on a personal level and who I am as a person, I have confidence in my ability to help other people through their transformations and help to, keep them accountable and push them to a higher level and see growth in themselves and their business and stuff like that. But I'm always constantly wanting to improve and learn. And for me, I feel like right now at this point in my life, for me, my intuition, I feel, is like something that I want to develop more.
Yeah. And like a lot of life coaching, there's like a lot of science behind it, but it's more art than science anyway. And like that's a hugely intuitive type thing.
Yeah. Like, I mean, a lot of the courses and training that we've taken, we've been taught a lot about like cognitive behavioral therapy and neurolinguistics programming and how to rewrite your personal story and rewire your beliefs and tackle limiting beliefs and overcoming self-doubt and fear. And like they're all fantastic tools, and the knowledge is there, the skill set is there. We feel more than equipped to be life coaches, and we're excited about this. But intuition for me, I think, is something that I really want to focus on in the new year. Because it's something I want to then be able to teach other people to do, is to trust their intuition and develop their intuition more. So it is relevant. It aligns with my goals. Time bound. It's by the end of the year. By the end of the year, I want to have developed my intuition. Cody, do you want to go through and do one too?
In terms of a long-term goal. Yeah, the only thing I can really think of, I've been saying for a long time that there's resources and stuff online now. I wouldn't mind learning, like some form of sword fighting.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy like a stick of some kind and start trying to figure out how to sword fight with it.
I'm just going to read this comment here from Heather. So Heather says,
Okay.
How do you feel about your intuition in regards to your children? I just asked this because have you really lost it, or is it just being redirected at intuitively knowing what your children need or want? And you're right. I feel like my intuition with regards to our kids is definitely there. Like I feel like I'm very...
In a lot of ways, I feel like a Pokemon trainer, to where like everyone else here's like, Pika Pika, and we're like, you're right, you are hungry.
Yeah, I feel like intuitively I'm good there. It's an interesting thing to think about, because it's one of those things where it's like I do feel like I have good intuition, but I feel like I'm lacking in learning how to trust it in certain scenarios, especially when it comes to business and being able to teach other people how to trust their intuition. I feel like it's such a personal thing. I don't know, it's just I feel, for whatever reason, I'm feeling called to develop it and to dive into it. And I think working with like I said, finding a coach who specializes in this will really help me to fast track it and find out very quickly if it's something that I need to pursue or not. I may decide, a month or two down the road that I'm okay with where I'm at, and it was just like a quick fix or a quick tune-up kind of thing. It's one of the things about working with a coach is they see so many things that you don't see, and they can really fast track you in your progress. So Cody wants to learn to sword fight. That's somewhat specific. What kind of sword, or what kind of style, or for what purpose? For the art of it?
Yeah, I think for the art of it. And apparently from what I've heard so far from various videos, there's a lot of carryover between like Japanese sword fighting with a katana and like the more European style with a longsword. There's a lot of carryover between the two. If you've trained with one, you can kind of pick up the other and be reasonably competent with it.
Okay.
So just longsword, I guess.
Okay, so long sword. Again, this is really messy. I'm just trying to write things down as we go through this.
I literally just settled on you saw me settle on it just a moment ago.
So measurable. How will you know if you're getting better at it? I mean, I feel like that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of those things that you figure out pretty quick. Like as it's happening, you'll know.
Yeah. Attainable. Is it within the realm of possibility?
100%.
For sure. Relevant. So how is this a goal how is it something that aligns with your values and your life mission? Is it a goal that makes sense for you to pursue?
Well, with my values around health and fitness, it's good to have a hobby and a pastime that's not just sitting on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I don't know, it's kind of like an old school life skill that would be fun to learn.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's something very in line with who you are as a person and kind of your vision for your life and the things that you want to do. It does not surprise me that your goal would be to learn sword fighting.
Well, and because, Viking beard, Viking faith, I may as well learn how to fight with a Viking sword.
Yeah. This is one reason why Cody and I love to do our goal setting together outside of just financial goals, because even though we've been together for, I guess not that long, 7 years now. In the grand scheme of things, it's not that long, 7 or 8 years.
Yeah, maybe married 5.5 years at this point.
Yeah.
Going on, I guess, 8 years total together-ish.
I feel like working through our goals together, it just, we learn something new about each other.
It's one of those things that brings you closer as a couple, particularly with like finances and stuff like that. Because 6 months from now, it could be really easy for her to get bent out of shape at me about why he's spending all this money on, swords and lessons and this, that, the other thing. We have these other goals, but she's aware that this is a goal of mine, so it's not going to broadside her when I start putting time and attention towards it.
And more than just telling each other what our goals are, when we work through it together like this, we understand our why behind each other's goals. And it makes it a lot easier to jump on board and support one another because we understand the big why behind why our partner's doing something.
Yeah, and it's so much easier to just get behind someone just by not derailing them. Because, if I know Valerie's really like going after the intuitive thing and she wants to get in tune with the tarot and stuff and learn how to read that, if I'm constantly trying to pull her away from that because, babe, I'm doing this, I need you to look after the kids, whatever, I'm cooking, can you stop doing that? It's very easy for me to not be supportive just by not giving it the attention that it deserves.
Yeah, it would make me feel like I wasn't important or that you didn't value the things that were important to me. And while my important things don't have to be your important things, I want you to honor and respect that I have things that are important to me, just the same as I do to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's important to, not that you have to like sit down with your spouse and spend an hour going through your goals together in the same kind of depth that we are right now.
Yeah, it can honestly be just like a 5-minute conversation. But
you should definitely check in with each other. So mini milestones, 3 to 6 mini milestones. So for me, I'm going to come back up here. This is going to be one, finding a coach, finding ways to test my intuition. Again, I'm not sure what that would look like, but working with a coach, I can figure that out. Mini milestones. What else would be a mini milestone for developing intuition? This is a really hard goal that I picked as an example for this. Find a coach that I can work with to help me develop my intuition, finding ways to test my intuition.
I don't know, I feel like now that we're doing it live, like every goal is a very hard one to do.
No, I feel like yours is pretty easy.
Yeah, I guess.
Like, right, because your mini goals would be like, 1,
find a coach.
Get
a sword.
Find a coach. Get a sword. Learn some basic movements. Find a
repeatedly.
sparring partner.
Well, that was one thing I like about something like the sword is you can just do. It's not the same as sword fight and like actually like fighting somebody, but you can just do the forms. Whereas if you're doing something like jiu-jitsu, you need someone else with you to do it. Whereas,
but I think it would still be beneficial though to have somebody to spar with, right? Because even though you know the movements, it's not the same as like being in a fight per se. Sparring with somebody. Okay, so building in new habits. This is the one that I always like to talk about, and Cody likes to go into this as well because there's psychology behind it as well. But building in new habits or making time for these new goals that you're setting means that you then have to take away time from something else.
Yeah, because the time in your day is already being used throughout the day. Like, it's not like you just come home from work, do the things you have to do, and then just sit there for like 4 hours until you go to bed waiting for something to do. You're already using your time, which means if you want to start doing something new, you need to stop doing something else. Yeah,
like for Cody and I, we used to spend our evenings watching our favorite TV series, whatever we were binge watching at the time. And when we decided that we were going to start this business and take it seriously and get our certifications, we then stopped watching the things that we enjoyed watching and instead replaced that time with sitting down every night and doing these courses and talking to each other and reflecting and taking notes and studying. And so again, we're taking time and attention away from one thing and pouring it into another, whatever our goal was, whatever our priority was. So for me, obviously, it's going to be making time, prioritizing time to work with a coach and to make time every day to work with my intuition, which might be something as simple as continuing to, draw oracle cards and tarot cards. It's something that I'm doing right now. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you know that every day I pull a card. I ask what the reading is for the collective. I pull one card, I connect to the card, and then I share that meaning. And I've been getting a little more feedback now that it's actually hitting home for a lot of people. Or there's even some people who have the same deck who have pulled the same card. So I feel like my intuition is getting a little bit better. I don't,
It's on the grill.
Yeah, you could also maybe say, maybe a better way for me to word this, because it's more than just intuition to me. It's about my spirituality, right? Like it's about my spiritual journey, my intuition, learning to trust.
Yeah, fencing clubs. That could be a good place to start.
Fencing clubs would be fun. I wonder if we have any fencing clubs here.
I think we do, yeah. I don't know. It'll be worth looking into.
Yeah, so Cody's habits. What would your habits be then? Probably to...
Reading.
Yes, but if we're talking about learning to use the sword. Everything's basically shut down here still.
Yeah,
Well, it's not shut down, but we have vaccine passports. So to go do anything, you have to prove that you're double vaccinated through your passport.
Yeah, which is something I'm not going to talk about right now. Yeah, I don't know just where we're at right now with the kids and stuff like that. Like, having 2 under 2 is no small ask. So right now I'm going to the gym when Freya is taking her nap, because it's manageable for Val to handle Gunner for that 45 minutes while I'm out the door.
You know what I was just thinking? Sorry to interrupt. I was thinking one big shared goal that we have is personal development for the new year.
Yeah.
So that's something that we can probably use as a good example for this.
Okay.
That instead of bouncing back and forth between the two of us.
Yeah, let's do that.
So personal development specifically, what does that look like to us? So for me, that means reading every day. Well, for me, it would be Audible. I don't get time to really sit down and read, but I could listen to audiobooks and podcasts. So we're going to put here personal development.
Finding good resources that we can listen to and read.
Finding good resources to listen to and read. So Audible, podcasts. If you guys have any good personal development podcasts that you could recommend, we would love to know. Audible podcasts, working with coaches, even like YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah.
YouTube, Udemy, Skillshare. So that is specific, measurable. How would you word that measurably? Seeing an increase in our skills,
Heather asks, do you have a local LARP group? I think we actually do. Years before I met Val, I dated a girl who made like costumes and like cosplay stuff. And she was obviously local to Edmonton, so I assume there's something like that around here. It's not really something I've considered looking into, honestly, because I'm just kind of at a limiting belief headspace right now where it's just I assume I don't have time for things, and so I just don't really give them much attention.
I'm just going to move us down here so that I'm not constantly hiding this behind us. I'm so sorry, you guys. Okay, measurable. Let's go back up here. Relevant. Okay, attainable. Yes. Relevant. Yes, 100%. I think personal development right now is probably the most relevant goal to our overarching vision. Because what is our why behind it? I mean, our whole...
Be able to help people and create financial abundance for ourselves.
Yeah, I feel like our whole, not just our business, but our whole life vision aligns with personal development. Because even outside of what we can, what's within our realm of capability and coaching, and what we hope to broaden that scope to be in the future as we develop our skill set, is like just our vision in life requires a lot of personal growth out of us, and overcoming our fears, growing our confidence, growing our skill set. Learning how to create financial abundance and security for us and the generations after us, learning the skill sets necessary to increase our fitness and our physical capability, because one day we would like to have land and homestead and grow our own food and
be hardy enough to look after ourselves.
Yeah, personal development is huge. So we're like constantly soaking in information from different sources, and we really want to get more intentional with that, I think, going forward, and like learning how we can implement a lot of this knowledge that we're learning now versus just soaking it up and letting it sit up in our brains. A good number have some swordplay skill with larger swords, is broad, or i.e. broad swords, and would provide sparring partners. That is good to know.
Yeah, that's
I always thought LARP groups were like...
live action roleplay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Why wouldn't they have swordplay and stuff? I'm thinking like, you know, like plays and like drama theater and stuff. And, geez, that could be a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, that could be wicked awesome. And another thing for personal development, why it's relevant. One of my long-term life goals, so one of my heroes growing up is Uncle Iroh. And if I want to be like Uncle Iroh, I got to be wise. So I got to personally develop.
And then time bound, I mean, really it's an ongoing thing. Personal growth is an ongoing thing. So many habits would again be, we'll say, how much time do we want to dedicate every day?
Well, we got nothing but time. We can spend a half hour listening to something, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'll say 30 to 60 minutes a day.
I like that.
A day to personal development. This could be working with a coach, taking a course, an online course, listening to a podcast, also free and cheap. Are they cheap to go to? I'm gonna look this up after we're done this live.
Yeah.
We're gonna go look for LARP groups in our area. Listening to a podcast, reading books, any of that stuff. Just 30 to 60 minutes a day towards personal development. This also encompasses fitness too, right? Like going to the gym and working out and, you know, your sword, learning how to use a sword and stuff like that. So making
you
room.
know you want to call it swordplay.
I do, swordplay. Making room to build new habits. So we know what habits we want to build in. So what habits or time do we have to take away from? So this comes down to time management. I don't feel like I really have any bad habits per se.
Yeah, no, I spend a lot of time on my phone games and stuff, but also I spend times on my phone games like walking on the treadmill and in the bathroom and stuff. Or when I'm busting laps around the island with Gunner.
I think we need to get better at divide and conquer.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, we're very much, we are awful at divide and conquer.
Cody and I literally love to do everything together.
There are so many times when I'm like, you know what, babe, I need some time away. I'm gonna go for a drive. Are you coming?
Yeah. Yeah. So I feel like we need to get better at divide and conquer. Right now we're doing this really well with Cody's fitness. He goes when Freya's down for her nap. So Freya goes down for her nap. He gets to take off for however long he needs to the gym in our building here. He gets to do his workout and I hang out at home with Gunner. So that's one way that we divide and conquer. And likewise, he tries to do the same thing for me when I have to do back-end stuff for the business. Like if I have to redo a website or create graphics for something, he will take the kids out for a drive. He'll do a lap around like the ring road or something. Usually gone for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I stay at home and I get my work done. So we're getting better at that, but we definitely could be better still. Oh no, Gunner's doing a fuss again. Poor little dude. So getting better at divide and conquer with the kids, using our time more wisely.
I know I'm no longer employed, you guys, but like this new boss is not friendly. Very hostile work environment.
Yeah, I think our biggest thing with the personal development is just going to be learning to prioritize our time better. I can think of a lot of different ways that we could be improving this. So creating an action plan that works for you and accountability. So for Cody and I, a lot of this is just going to be being accountable to each other, or holding each other accountable, because this is a goal that we have together. So it's also something that we can do together. Like when the kids are napping in the morning, when he's cooking breakfast, typically Cody will cook breakfast and I will entertain the kids. Instead of having Netflix playing, he just went back to bed just like that, hey?
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be up again in like 5 seconds. But
so, in the mornings when he's taking care of the kids and cooking and stuff, instead of having Netflix on in the background, we could have a podcast playing over the HomePod speaker or something like that. So again, accountability and creating an action plan. A lot of this is going to be...
Which is a habit I'd like to do anyway, because like outside of personal development, there's, books and stuff that we like listening to together that it'd be nice if we had time to do that.
Yeah. And our evenings, it would be easy to do this as well, to build in a lot of that stuff. So again, this worksheet, it breaks it down more into, walking you through what habits do you want to start, what is your big why behind them, how does it fit into your life vision, taking a goal and breaking it down into smaller targets, and what your action steps are to hit each of those targets. I've got the wheel of life in here, which is one thing I love to do. I actually do this on a monthly basis, but you should probably do it at least every year. And it just walks you through 7 key areas of your
5
life.
seconds.
And how you would rate it out of a 10 in terms of like your happiness and your satisfaction. And when you put it out like this, like you would color in however many lines, and then when you look at it, you can kind of clearly see a visual representation of where you might be lacking in certain areas. And this worksheet will prompt you through, like, why did you give yourself that rating? What do you feel good about in each of these areas? What do you feel like you could improve upon in each of these areas? And then it walks you through how you can create goals or action items in each of those areas in order to improve it. We've also included a life vision planner, so where you see yourself in 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years. Another type of life assessment, this one goes through 10 categories instead of 7. There's a monthly check-in, and this one I love. So if you're working through an action plan or towards goals, this has great questions that will prompt you that you can go through and review every month. Where are you at in relation to where you thought you were going to be? Do you have any new skills or knowledge that you need to acquire in order to further move you along towards your goal? How did you feel about the last month? Just like I said, good questions to prompt you. There's monthly habit trackers, a weekly habit tracker, a daily planner in here, your annual calendar, and then just a blank planning monthly calendar sheet. So again, this whole workbook is linked down below in the description. It is free if you want to grab a copy for yourself. Totally not necessary, but for me it always helps to have all this information at my fingertips as I'm going through and goal setting. As you evidently saw with me trying to set our goals, I quickly realized that I need to spend a lot more time like thinking about this and understanding my big why behind wanting to do certain things. And it's funny how we can think that we really want something so bad and we really want to set a certain goal and we really want to reach it, but when you start questioning why, you start to wonder, like, is it that important? Is that really what I want, or is it something else that'll get me to my big goal faster? So I love having these worksheets to work off of. Again, the big thing was the financial stuff, and we've gone through and we've done that. Do you guys have any like questions that you want to ask us? It doesn't have to be around goal setting even. It could just, like I said, the whole thing was just to hang out and have fun. Yeah. I had kind of anticipated the live going until about 9:30 to 10, and it's 9:22 here right now, so we can start wrapping things up, but we are here for you guys. So leave a comment if you guys have any questions. I'm just going to flip this back so that it's just us now. Anything that you want to know? Personal questions, business questions, just conversation. We miss YouTube.
We really do.
We really enjoy doing the YouTube videos, and it's sucked because we've had no income to budget with, so we don't get to do our regular budget with us videos. So we've been kind of missing the community over here and the just seeing what you're...
we miss you guys.
Yeah, we miss you guys is what we're getting up to. So well, I know there's a little bit of a delay between what you guys are seeing versus when we get to see your comments, so we're just going to hang out for a few minutes. And if there are no questions or comments or anything that you guys want to know, we will end the live and let you all go about your evenings.
Oh, you know what? While we're waiting for hot sec, I'll look up a local LARP group.
Look up a local LARP group. That sounds like a tongue twister. Look up a local LARP group. Say that 10 times fast.
Underworld LARP Edmonton.
Boom, just like that week, we have found
a dark
one.
fantasy LARP, run, fight, hide.
Well, that sounds... Look at that. That guy's got a sword and shield. What's that one? That's the one you need. Thank you for the recommendation. Heather, we are excited to look into this.
This guy's bald and has a cool beard?
You could show them on the camera what you're looking at.
I can try. Where's the
camera up here? Yes, Cody looks at the iPad.
Nope, I sure can't show them nothing.
There, how's that?
Awful.
It's a bit of glare.
That's so much glare. So let's see here.
Kevin says, I think you both are awesome. Thank you, Kevin.
Oh, thank you.
We do have so much fun. YouTube's like a whole other audience compared to Instagram. I feel like it's more personal over here, which is funny. You would think that Instagram would be more personal, but
Yeah,
I feel
in
like
some ways, Instagram is nicer from a creation standpoint because you there's a lot less barrier to connection with people.
I feel like Instagram, we can like push out content faster and like less formal, and it's just kind of like,
Yeah, that's what I'm getting
it's
at.
fast and fun, you know, whereas YouTube, there's a little more effort put into it, obviously with using a different camera and a lighting setup and editing and stuff like that, but we feel like it's more of a family vibe over here. Pat says, when specifically do you do your YNAB fresh start? December 31st? Yeah, so I did the fresh start technically now, but we wouldn't use that budget now until January 1st. So we'll still do our annual wrap up where we'll review what our spending habits looked like for the year, and of course we'll share that on YouTube.
Yeah.
At the end of the year. You know us, we got to share everything. We don't hide nothing over here. So we'll do our annual review. We'll make any further adjustments that we feel like we need to for the new year at that point, and then starting January 1st we would then move into our new budget. Heather says, no worries, I'm glad you found some groups. Yeah, we are excited to look into it. Cody's also been saying for a while now that he wants to get into doing D&D.
Yeah, so one of my favorite pastimes thus far is watching Critical Role. And then once their cartoon comes out on Amazon, I'm going to enjoy watching that. But I've never actually played. I've just seen other people play, and I think it'd be really wicked awesome to do that. But also, it's one of those things, you know, finding the time to and the people to go do it with. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be a goal for this year, but a goal for future years. I would like to start a D&D campaign in some capacity.
Our secret little nerd dream is that we will get to play D&D with our kids when they get older.
Yeah, I'm so excited to DM a campaign for my kids and all their little nerd friends.
Heather says, the one I belonged to a few decades ago was like $5 a month member fee. So $20 these days, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm in the US. For D&D. Oh, we have a group on Discord for D&D. So the LARP was $5. It's probably $20 now. That's cool. I mean, for the entertainment and for like the networking and the...
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go to a movie, you're looking... Like for Val and I to go to a movie right now, we're looking at like $100 night. Yeah.
So I feel like it would be money well spent. Monica says, by the way, love your hair, Val. Thank you. I was saying at the beginning of the live that I had dyed my hair using temporary hair dye, like a semi-permanent hair dye. And it was called Flamingo, and I loved it. It was kind of like a...
It was like a nice pastel, kind of slightly less vibrant pink.
Yeah, it was like a pastel-y pink. And I was like, okay, I love this hair color. Because I was going back and forth between trying to grow my hair out or shaving my head again because I've been shaving it for years. So it's like, well, if I dye it a fun color, maybe I'll grow it out. And so I was like, okay, I love the color. I'm going to go back and get the permanent one because they have the exact same hair color in a permanent version. And it's called Flamingo. And I dyed it the permanent color and I got this color. And this is very much Flamingo.
Yeah.
This is a much pinker pink.
It's a much more aggressive pink. I like it.
If you've seen the Instagram photos, the original pink was much more muted.
Heather says they play D&D with their kids. That is awesome. They must love that.
I love that.
I feel like that'd be a great family bonding time.
Oh, little Munchie's awake again.
That wasn't closed.
Cody always trusts the milk by trying to drink it.
Slugging it back.
And I'm like, just put it on your hand.
All right, well.
Oh.
I think I'm going to end my portion there.
Heather, if you're up for it, can you, you don't have to, I'm just asking one mom to another. If you'll shoot me a DM on Instagram and let me know how you guys play that. I mean, we're obviously a few years away from the kids being old enough to understand the whole concept of D&D and how to play it. But I wonder, are there campaigns specifically geared towards playing with kids, or do you create your own campaign for that? What does that look like? I would love to know. If you're up for sharing, no pressure. Do not feel pressured to... I'm just one of those nosy people where I'm like, tell me all about it. It's something I have to look more into, to be honest, because I only see D&D from watching Critical Role on YouTube, and that's only in passing when Cody's watching it, because he loves it. I don't really actually know a lot about it. I just know every time I see it, I'm like, well, that looks like fun. It also looks like I could spend a lot of money getting into it.
Mm-hmm. I know there's some dice sets out there that are like hundreds of dollars.
Heather, I see you're saying an invite. I just signed up for the download tonight. Can you dig out my email address? I could, yeah. Are you saying you want me to grab your email and send you an email then? Because I can do that. I'm not going to do it. Well, actually, I'm not screen sharing right now. I was going to be like, I'm not going to do that on a live video because I certainly do not want people to see your information. But yeah, as long as you've put your name in with your email address, I can go grab it. And as long as you're cool with it, I'll shoot you an email, and then you can teach me all about how you guys are playing D&D with the kids, because that's something I would love to. We also have friends who would love to get into D&D, so we could always play with them for now as well, and that would be fun. I never thought I'd be in like my 30s wanting to play D&D, but here I am. Hi, I'm Val. I'm in my 30s, and my hobbies include playing The Sims and getting into D&D. Does that make me a nerd? I don't care. I don't even care. I'm here to live my life. I don't care what other people... I guess I care to a certain extent what people think, but not that much. Any other comments or questions? I only ask not because I want to let you guys go, but because Gunnar is getting fussy. So I should probably go back to being a mom. The most rewarding and challenging job I've ever had in my life. Cool. Heather, I will go back and find your email. If not tonight, then sometime tomorrow, and I will shoot you off an email, and we will get in touch, and we can nerd out about D&D together. I'm looking forward to that. Anybody else? Anybody with questions? Part of me is secretly like, yes, please keep me on YouTube so that we can continue to hang out. But if not, I understand it's getting late in most parts of the world right now. I feel like it's probably getting pretty late for most people anyways. It's 9:30 here. I don't know what that is for a lot of you guys. In Australia, it's going to be, 3:30 now in the afternoon. 3:30 in the afternoon. Kevin says, I also have a YouTube channel. Kevin, what's your YouTube channel? Do you share the stuff that you make on your YouTube channel? Like the bracelets and the art and the... Was it knitting or crocheting? Knitting? I can't remember what she said. I could scroll back, I suppose. Share with us what your YouTube channel is, so that anybody who wants to go check it out can go check it out. Thank you, Heather, for hanging out. If you're taking off now, enjoy the rest of your night. You will hear from me in the next 24 hours, for sure. It has been so much fun just hanging out. I don't know what I thought this video was going to be. It didn't quite go how I had planned, but I didn't really have a plan, so we have had fun though. Hey babe, have you had fun? Have you had fun on the YouTube live? I'm getting ready to wrap it up. I'm just letting any last questions here come in.
Okay.
And Gunnar can come out and say goodbye to the tubes. You want your chair? Here, focus on Cody.
Thank you.
And Gunnar having his bottle.
Do you want to eat?
I'll go feed the baby.
Like most of his bottle ended up on me, so he's for sure going to be hungry. Wow. That's the loudest I've ever heard the upstairs neighbors.
Yeah, can you guys hear our upstairs neighbors? Usually it's the ones across the hall from us that are really heckin' loud. Because they have kids there that are playing video games, and they're typically yelling at the TV. And it sounds like they're sitting in our living room yelling at the TV.
Yeah, for some reason there's like a weird ventilation thing going on, like from the building into the units. And their unit is right across from ours, and their vent connects to our vent somehow-ish. So it sounds like they're sitting in our lobby, or in our den most nights, just losing their minds.
I'm creeping on our own video here to see how much the leg is. It's not that bad. So I think if that's it, I'm going to go ahead and shut off this live now. If you are watching the replay, feel free to keep leaving comments, because I will leave this up. I'll add it into a playlist so that anybody who couldn't be here for the live, because I know I had some people ask me if I would put this up so that they could still watch it. Here it is. Val from the past speaking to you in the future. You can go ahead and leave comments.
Everyone is speaking from the past to the future.
This is true. You can leave comments and we will reply to them. I will reply to them, but Cody gets to hear about them too. And again, if you want a copy of that goal setting worksheet that we were going through, there is a free copy of it. Link down below. You're welcome to sign up for our newsletter and you will get a free copy of it. And don't worry, we're not going to spam you. In fact, I don't think we've sent out any emails yet. We have not, other than just the free PDFs. But I told Cody, he's an excellent writer. And so I think he might start writing weekly or bi-weekly newsletters, just sharing some cool information. Depending on how much free time our children let us have.
Depending how much screaming happens to me at any given period of time.
Exactly. But okay, we've been on here for an hour and a half. It has been a blast hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for being here.
We have had so much fun.
Oh, there's the burp.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Kevin says I sent to you on Instagram. Cool, Kevin. We're gonna go check that out after we get off the live here. We will go check out your YouTube channel.
Yeah, we're gonna pull it up on the TV while this guy screams at us.
Yeah. So now that Gunner's getting loud and fussy, I will get off YouTube here.
But I think we will leave you with some wisdom. So if you really try, you can hold your breath for the rest of your life.
Cody said that to me earlier, and it took
her
me
like
a minute.
A hot second to get it, and then she just about fell over laughing. It was the most glorious dad joke response possible.
I was gonna say, yeah, those are your. Now that he's a dad of 2 kids, so the dad jokes are really coming out in full force with this guy.
I'm so excited to have a garden hose to kink.
Why?
Well, the garden hose might be broken, buddy. Look in there, see if there's a problem, and let her back.
All right, we're getting off here now. Thank you guys for being here. As Cody would say, we love you very much.
Yeah, we love you guys very much. Thanks for coming along with us. If you like it, like it. If you don't like it, dislike it twice. And is it payday yet? Bye.
Bye, guys.